Hi there, and thank you for joining us today for this webinar on switching from Salesforce to iCRM and integrating it with whatever email system you have. That includes Gmail and Outlook, as you'll see in the demo that will start shortly. Some quick housekeeping. Please ask any questions in the comments area on YouTube, and I will answer those questions during the webinar or at the end, or a little bit of both probably. Just give me 1 second here. Okay, and we'll try to get you out of here in 30 to 40 minutes. Do my best to do that, and I'll plow through this stuff as quickly as possible. So we'll show a few slides followed by some live demos, of course, so you'll get to see everything in action. So just a little bit about iEnterprises. We've actually been in CRM since before it was called CRM, since the mid-90s, actually. We've won all sorts of awards. We have a pretty large customer base, and sometimes when you buy brand name products, you're actually buying ours. We actually build some of these products for larger companies. And we have an office here near New York City, as well as one in Europe and in Asia, where we're basically all about CRM and email integration, as you'll see. And I know some of you are actually our customers. Some of you are using our email integration products already, and that's really cool. Here's some of the awards we've won over the years. These are some rather high-level awards, including some of these IBM awards that are very difficult to get. Very proud of those. Here's some of our customers. They're big and small. We have, of course, the larger ones on the screen, and we do have many smaller ones, especially iCRM customers tend to be small to medium-sized businesses. So we do support many different email integrations. And many of you, as I said, are probably already using some of our email integrations. We integrate Gmail and Outlook with Salesforce.com, Microsoft Dynamics, Oracle, and Sugar. And those products have a separate cost, obviously, over and above the CRMs themselves. But of course, we also support our own product, which is called iCRM or iEnterprise CRM. And the Gmail and Outlook integration, that's included in those products. So anyway, I'll move along. So again, iCRM has the Gmail integration and Outlook integration included. It's not an extra cost. 1 second. Sorry, just had to shut off the kids in these work from home days. Anyway, so why are we better? So first of all, it's a full-featured, flexible CRM. We'll get into that. Everything works on mobile and inside your email. We do everything for you. We configure it, we import the data and everything. And we'll talk a little bit more about all this stuff. But the bottom line is we let you to do everything from email, whether that be in Gmail or Outlook. And basically, you can use the whole CRM from within Gmail or Outlook. You get a 360-degree view as you're interacting with people of your CRM information. And you can save emails into the CRM without leaving Gmail. You can even create leads and contacts without leaving Gmail or Outlook. And it even takes information from LinkedIn automatically. So it takes job titles and company names and things like that from LinkedIn. There's also a background sync that lets you just sync everything in the background. So that's email, and then the calendar is the same way. You pretty much can do everything from the calendar, which is really cool. And it also works on mobile. So I will actually show a little bit of the Gmail app on mobile. And that works really well. And you'll see how you can integrate everything right on mobile. There's also mobile apps for iCRM. So in addition to being integrated with the email apps, we also have a mobile app. So both the Gmail and the Outlook connector can be installed from the marketplaces. So in Gmail, you go to the right side, you just click the little plus sign, and you can search for iCRM and get started that way. And then in Outlook, you do get add-ins and install it that way. But the bottom line is it works in any browser, both the Gmail and Outlook plugins or add-ons and add-ins. It's actually called an add-on in Gmail and an add-in in Outlook, just FYI. And it works in any Outlook client, whether it be Mac or Windows, or in the web version as well as the mobile version. With respect to Gmail, it is not a Chrome extension. I'll go back to Gmail really quick. Most Gmail integrations are Chrome extensions, and they're incredibly unreliable. They take up space on your screen. They block other things. Anyway, this is an actual Gmail add-on, and it lives inside the Gmail server. So that means that you can go to a kiosk in an airport, for example, log into your Gmail, and it'll be there. On your mobile device, it'll be there. So the email integration is always there. Same is true for Outlook. It installs actually inside Outlook. It doesn't install locally on your computer, and therefore it's always available whenever you log into your Outlook account. I'll show that in a little bit. So let's talk just a teeny bit about iCRM. So it's a very robust and flexible CRM. It has all the basics and much more, actually. It's got, of course, account and contact and lead management, as well as activity and email tracking and email templates and mass mailings. And it even tracks subscription or recurring revenue, as well as it has a document repository. It has call reports, has all these automations and things, and we can set them up for you to get you started, as well as custom modules and tons of integrations, not just email integration. So it's pretty robust and super flexible. It's super easy to configure, and you don't need a team of consultants to do it. And I actually recommend that actually with iCRM or any CRM, you use the configuration to do less with the CRM instead of more, because if you make it simple, people will use it. I mean, that's just some basic CRM advice. So I covered some of this already, and this is the last slide before we go to the live demo. And why switch to iCRM? That's obviously, you must be interested, otherwise you wouldn't be here. But as I mentioned, it's a full-featured, flexible CRM. It's built into Gmail and Outlook. Everything works on mobile. It works in any browser or in any Outlook client. And this is really important. So with some of the other competitors, what they do is they get you in at a low price point, and they sell you at this low price point, and then literally days later, they're trying to double or even triple, I'm not kidding, quadruple or even 10x what you have to pay to use the system. And we do not do that. So we literally have one price, and that price with an annual contract is $29.95 per user per month, and it includes everything. It's everything. I'm not kidding. We actually import your data as part of a paid subscription. So if you sign up and you actually pay us, we'll help you import your data. We don't expect to get a $10,000 consulting project out of it. We won't send one of our partners over and charge you an arm and a leg. We actually do it for you. We'll also configure iCRM for your needs at no additional cost. So if you have a contract with us, and that starts for one user at $30 a month, basically, we're going to configure it and make it work for you the way you want it as part of that. And we'll do a little training too for your users. Everything's included. It's one price, which again, it's $29.95 per user per month. For an annual contract, it's $34.95 per user per month for a monthly contract. You don't even have to sign up for a year, and we'll do all this. And that is for the unlimited version. Everything is included. There's only one paid version, and that's the price. So you sign up for that, and we will not try to upsell you. We'll just try to make you successful using iCRM. That's the goal. So that's the big difference. And that, again, includes the email integration. Some of you are already paying $15 for the email integration per month, which is basically half the price of iCRM, and iCRM includes it. So some of you are already using it for Salesforce or for Dynamics. So anyway, I'll get out to the live demo. And what I'll do is I'll start out in Gmail, if you guys don't mind. Just give me 1 second to bring that up. Okay. Okay, and I'll show some Outlook in just a second as well. Got a little, oops. There's my Outlook, but we'll bring that up in 1 sec. Okay, so this is my Gmail. And you can see that I have both. This is the Salesforce connector. And again, some of you already have this. And you can just click this little plus sign. If you intend to use Salesforce and you want to use our connector, you can do that too. Just click this little plus sign, search for the Salesforce connector and get it installed. Or here's the iCRM add-on. So iCRM can be also installed right from Gmail. Just go to gmail.com and click this little plus sign. You know what? I'm gonna just quickly make the screen bigger and remove my camera. So I'll come back on camera in a little bit and say hello. Okay, so anyway, that's what it looks like. And it just shows up on the right-hand side here. So I can, open it and close it. And when I'm in my inbox, iCRM for G Suite in this case, or for Gmail, just shows up right here. And it gives me an overview of kind of what's going on in my life from my inbox. So it says, hey, I have a task today, or I have to follow up with this lead and ask for the order. And then I have some new opportunities down here as well. And I can expand this and see even more of my recent items. So it kind of gives you an overview of what you should be up to today, right from the inbox. But where it gets really useful is when I open a message. So if I open an email message, and this one's from James Person, you'll see that it then goes out and it actually looks for James Person in iCRM, and it found James Person in contacts in iCRM, as you can see here. And what I can do then is I can obviously see everything about James right here. I can open the contact and see more information, or perhaps I just want to log this email. I can just click this add button right here to log the email, and bingo, that's it. This message has been saved to iCRM now, and you can see that just happened. So that's it. I can just click this open button if I want to open the message to prove that it's logged in iCRM, right? And then if I want, I can open it in full screen, and it'll actually take me to iCRM in a full screen. Just do that, right? And here's that email message all saved in iCRM against James Person in this case. So that in its simplest form, you'll just open email messages, right? And then click the button to add them to the CRM, but it gives you all sorts of other options as well. So you can see here, it actually surfaces the LinkedIn information for the sender, as well as other social media details, which is really cool. And as I scroll down, it actually shows me any open opportunities I might have for this person as well. So you can see there's an open opportunity for a new product sale here, and there's some other related items, as well as activities and other conversations I've had with this person. Everything's surfaced right here in Gmail. So everything about this customer is here in Gmail, so that when I go to reply to this message, I can reply to it really quickly and easily, log the message in iCRM, but also do it with a full understanding of what's going on with this customer. I can even use an email template to reply to this message. So iCRM has the capability to have email templates, and you can reply using that email template and just kind of automatically populate canned responses, if you will. I really like that from mobile. I'll actually show that on mobile in just a second. So that's that's one use case, is you get a message from somebody that's already in the system. You can see all the details about that customer or lead, whether either one, and then you can reply appropriately, or just click to call them, whatever is appropriate. It brings everything to you right in your inbox, and that means that as you're interacting with your email, whether it be Gmail or Outlook, you're able to use the CRM, log and track everything right inside of your CRM without ever leaving Gmail. Anyway, that's the idea. Really cool. So I'm going to jump to Outlook, and just really quickly, I'll bring up another message in Outlook, right? And this is a message from my friend Bill Gates. And you'll see here, it works pretty much the same way in Outlook as it does in Gmail. It brings up this sidebar, and I happen to be on a Mac, and I'm using Outlook on a Mac. And you can get this add-in. You can get iCRM by opening your Outlook client and then just clicking on this button up here to get add-ins, and then just search for iCRM to add iCRM as an add-in, and it'll show the sidebar here. So you can see I got a message from my friend Bill Gates, and I have the iCRM sidebar open here, and I suggest you pin it in Outlook. You have to pin it to make it stay. So make sure you do that. And it's recognized that Bill is not in iCRM, right? So I can just add Bill if I want right from here. And it actually surfaced Bill's social media information as well. And if I click here to add Bill as a lead, you can see that it actually automatically populates all the information here. It actually can bring in Bill's job title and company name from LinkedIn, and fills out his email address and everything for me. I can just save this in iCRM just like that. So that's the use case with a new contact or a new lead, and it's pretty much the same thing in iCRM as it is in as in Gmail as it is in Outlook. Shows on the side, brings everything into that area. So really quickly, it kind of works the same way in the Google Calendar as well. And if you bring up the Google Calendar, you'll see that if I have an event on my calendar, I'll go back a little, like here, and I want to add it to iCRM, I can just quickly do that right from here, add it as an event, and bingo, it's there. And if somebody's invited, it will automatically detect the invitee, right, and then tell you whether they're in iCRM or not. So it works the same way in the calendar here, which is pretty cool. And what I'll do is I will jump out to, I'll show you the mobile email integration, and then I'll show you just a little bit about like the main browser interface of iCRM before we wrap up. So let's go out to, here is, I'm going to get my mobile device. This will just take 1 second. Reflector. Great. I will do this. Just give me 1 sec here. Great. Okay. Okay, there we go. So here's my mobile device. And you can see this is the Gmail app actually on my mobile device. And just like before, if I go into a message like this one, it, instead of showing iCRM at the right side, it's a little different UI. It actually shows it at the bottom. So you can see down here is this little I, and that's the same as this I on the right side here that we were seeing in Gmail. And if I click on that I, it actually opens iCRM right from Outlook. I'm sorry, in this case, Gmail on my mobile device. I can make it full screen, right? Something really handy from the device is obviously I can log the email message by clicking this little add button, just like I did on the browser interface. So I can add this other message just like that. And then something else really handy, obviously I can just click the number and dial it, which is fantastic, especially on a mobile device. That's probably how you're just going to reach out. Somebody emails you, you can bring them up and just call them really quick. And then everything's available here, pretty much everything. And something I really like, so it would be like, oh, they're asking for some product information, perhaps. I can actually reply on mobile using the email template. So let me do that. I'll show that feature here on mobile. It also, of course, works on the browser version. And I will reply with the product details template, if you will. And it already knows the contact that I'm merging with, because that's the sender of the email message, and they're already in iCRM. I'll just click create reply, and you'll see that it merges in an email template. It actually brings it up in, so this is an actual email template with links and pictures and everything. And I'm sure you're all aware that when you're out in the field and people ask you questions like the big questions that require lots of links and images and things, it's super difficult to take care of that on mobile, but not anymore, because you can use these email templates from iCRM. And actually, I should say it works with, if you use Salesforce and you want to use this extension with Salesforce, you can, just costs more. And it does exactly the same thing. So you can reply to this message. I click send, and bingo, I've sent this big long message with all these links, just like that. So super easy. So pretty much everything works on mobile that I showed in the browser as well. And what I'll do is I'll close down mobile for a little bit. So I'm sitting here in the browser, and you can see iCRM is open on the right-hand side of Gmail in this case. And if I click Open Contact, I can see the details about the contact. And remember, this message was from James Person. And if I click on the details, here's everything about James from iCRM in the sidebar. But sometimes you probably want to go into the full screen and see everything inside iCRM. So I'll open it in full screen, and you'll see it opens, takes me right to James in this case, in iCRM, in a browser, in a full screen. And I know there's a bunch on the screen, and I'll cover the basics of navigation in just a second. But you can see that you can kind of bounce back and forth right from your email messages into CRM and see everything contextually. It brings you to the person or the company you're dealing with, right? I can click on the company name here, and it'll bring me to the company. And I can see everything related to this person, any opportunities, any activities. So these are all the email messages and meetings and things, and the activities here in iCRM. So what I'll do is I'll just go to the iCRM dashboard here. So I click in the upper left, and on the dashboard, it's kind of like where you start out in iCRM. It gives you everything you need to do today. Gives you an overview. You can add reports and things here. But the basic way you navigate iCRM is very similar to other CRMs. There's these tabs across the top. I'll call these tabs, where you can go from accounts to contacts to leads to events to opportunities. That's one way to navigate. And if I click on accounts, it'll show me a list of accounts, for example, here, right? And these, what you see on the screen is called a view. And there can be multiple views, and you can set up these views any way you want. Or I can use the search. And that's probably the most common way you navigate, is you just search for a company. So in this case, if I search for Abbott, right, it shows me all the matches to this, all the accounts and contacts and anything else that matches this. If I click on it, it then brings me right to this particular account in iCRM. I could have just clicked on that in the view, but in our case, we have like tens of thousands of records in there. So the item I want isn't typically right on the screen. So I need to search for it up here, right? So I search for it. It shows me everything about Abbott here. And one thing I'll say is everything on this screen and everything on every single screen in iCRM is completely configurable. We'll help you do it if you sign up, but then also you can just click on this little customize here, and you can see this is, for example, the account screen, right? And I can literally drag and drop the fields on the screen, or I can click a plus and add a new field of any type. It's that easy. And apply the changes, and bingo. If you're the administrator of the system, you can actually configure the system very quickly and easily. You do not need to hire a team of consultants like with some other products. We will help you do it, but then you can also do it yourself, and it's super easy. It's really that simple to do this. So okay. Yeah, so I'm just looking at your, I'm actually looking at a few questions. Here's one from Jericho. I'll take this right now, because when you first get started, you want to get your information in here, and we help you import, right? And you can just do tools, import. And if you're using QuickBooks, for example, we can import from QuickBooks, but it also has the capability to import en masse all your contacts from your Google contacts really quick. You can also import from other CRMs or from a CSV file. So thanks so much for that. And then, you have really good timing about asking how to log a call. So before I leave import, though, we will help you import your data, and oftentimes we do prefer spreadsheets. So even if you want to import directly from Salesforce like this, first of all, Salesforce wants to charge you more for the privilege to be able to use the API to import the data, as they want to charge you more for pretty much everything. So you might not have access to this type of import, but we'll help you get a CSV together by creating reports in Salesforce or whatever CRM you're using, and import your data for you. So we'll totally help you with that, and we don't charge extra. I know I've said that a million times, but we don't charge extra. So with respect to logging a call, so you'd probably start out so first of all, you could do it right from Gmail. That's one thing, but you'd probably come in here, find the person, right? So remember this James person, click on the person, and then you could do create activity right from here, right? So, and a phone call is an activity, right? And you can see there, I can pick phone call, right? And I can say, discuss the products and save it. So that's how you log a phone call. And you can do this right from Gmail, or you can open James in the full screen here, do create activity. Another way to do it is you could go to these related items, right? And here's all the activities logged here, right? And here's the phone call we just had, right? You can see that. I can create a new activity from here too. But the simplest way, just go to the record, do a new activity, and off you go. And then there's also the concept of follow-ups, right? And follow-ups you can create anywhere, and you can make them show on the left-hand side here. So you can see I have this follow-up for Ryan, but maybe I want to create a follow-up for James here. So I can click on the follow-up icon, and I can say, I just spoke to James, and he said to call him next week, and he's going to give me an order. So I'll put an ask for the order, right? And save this. And now what iCRM will do is, first of all, it'll show in Gmail when the date comes up. It'll show on the left-hand side here. It'll show on the dashboard, but it'll also, of course, email you to remind you to do this follow-up on the date that it's due. So that's like some basic stuff about how to log emails and log other items. It's pretty straightforward. But let's explore some of the other areas, and then I'll wrap, because I want to get you guys out of here. I think you get the idea. It's a full-featured CRM, super configurable. You can set it up any way you want. And here's the leads, for example, and we have this concept of a leads pipeline view in this case. So you can bring your leads in through a process like a new lead, then you qualify them, then they get to proposal and client and so on. And then I'm going to go to opportunities, and there's the concept of this pipeline in opportunities as well. And you can see that opportunities are like leads, and you don't have to use opportunities. Some people just use leads and accounts and contacts, and that's it. But other companies like to log and quote things right out of here. And in order to do that, you can create an opportunity. Let me open up an existing opportunity, right? And it does support subscription opportunities as well. But in its simplest form, you would enter an opportunity, right? Give it a name. You could add line items, and we have the concept of products to add line items, apply discounts, and it can compute a value for an opportunity. And then when you're ready, you can send a quote, and it'll actually generate a PDF quote right out of here. You can send, and these quotes are completely configurable. We'll help you set them up. You can even have multiple quotes if you have different terms and conditions, for example. You can do that. You can either download this, and send it right from Gmail, or you can just, or right from your email, Outlook or Gmail, or you can just send it right from here, right? So that's the quoting. And then at some point, hopefully the customer will sign off on the quote. You can mark this opportunity as one. If you're using QuickBooks, it can actually generate a QuickBooks invoice real quickly when the opportunity is one as well. So that's the basics. Usually you start out with a lead, right? You bring a lead to a certain point, and then you would create an opportunity once you know what they might buy from you. And then you'd bring the opportunity through a process like this. It starts out, in my case, with demo, then a price quote, and then we go to negotiation, and then hopefully they win it. And at the time they win it, you win the opportunity, it becomes an account. So that's the basic workflow, and we have some tutorials on how that works online. But unless you guys have additional questions, I'll wrap up, and I'll show you my email address and things in just a second. So if you do have additional questions, you can send them to me. So let's go back, really show a couple more slides, and then we'll wrap. So let's present this. So here's the official pricing, right? So remember, we make connectors that connect Salesforce and other CRMs to email. And if you want just one of those and you don't want to use iCRM, that's fine. And the cost for that is $15 or $14.95 per user per month if you pay monthly. And if you pay annually upfront, it's $12.95 per user per month. And then iCRM, which includes the connector, so it includes that integration that costs $15 a month, is $34.95 per user per month paid monthly, or $29.95 if you pay upfront on an annual contract. If you have more than 50 users, we can talk, and there could be a discount. So why should you switch to iCRM? So as you've seen, it's a full-featured, flexible CRM that can pretty much do almost everything that Salesforce and these other CRMs do. It's completely built into email, so it's not like you have to buy another product to integrate it with email. It's also integrated with QuickBooks, with WordPress, by the way, for lead capture on your website, and so on. It's built into your email. Everything works on mobile. There's actually 2 different mobile clients, plus it's built into the email clients on mobile. Works in any browser, Chrome, Safari, Edge, whatever you're using. And we will import your data at no additional cost. If you sign up and pay us, we'll do that as part of the project. We'll actually do an implementation and get you up and running as part of the project. And we'll even configure and set up iCRM. All you have to do is click the button to configure fields, and you can rename and drag and drop fields. I actually showed that in the demo. And there's a couple of questions. One, can you show how to modify fields? I actually showed that, but email me. I'll be happy to give you more information about that. And then somebody's asking, can the pipeline, yeah, you can have as many pipeline views as you want. And I should have showed it, but you can even, like, there's a drop down for users. So you can, if you're the manager, you can see other users' pipelines and see their pipeline against their quota too. But you can have as many pipeline views as you want with different data on it. So you can make it whatever you want. So that was from Greg. Thanks for that question, Greg. It's a good one. But again, we'll do everything to get this set up for you. We will not charge you more. We'll configure iCRM, help you modify the fields, and teach you how to do it in the future. And we'll import your data. Everything is included. It's one price. There's only one version. It's called the unlimited version. And as I mentioned, it's around $30 per user per month. We will not upsell you. We won't turn around and ask you to pay more next month because you want tires with your car. Like that's the trick. Everybody gets you in at this low price point, and then next month they want double, triple, quadruple that price just to give you some basic functionality. That's not our thing. Our thing is we tell you the price, we give you everything we got for that price, and that's all you have to pay, and that includes all this stuff. So with that, if you do have additional questions, just shoot me an email, and you can email me at sales@ienterprises.com or just call me at that number, and I'm happy to help. We're always here to help you, and you'll find that we're different in that we actually answer. If you send us an email, we'll reply. We don't send it to some support queue to like answer you in 5 days, or just when you send us a support question, we don't ask you like 55,000 other questions before we even address. We might ask you for like a screenshot or something, but we try to get to the point. We don't have this giant process like these big companies that you wonder if you're their customer or they're your customer sometimes, the way they make you go through their process. We help you any way we can, and that's our mantra. So with that, I will sign off. This webinar is up if you want to re-review it, like if in like literally a minute after it ends. You can go back to the YouTube link and you can rewind it and show where I showed how to modify the fields, for example. But also shoot me an email or give me a call on the phone, and we're happy to help any way we can. We really are. So thanks again for joining, and everybody have a great new year and a great day. And we hope you shoot us an email, and we hope that we can work with you in the future. Have a fantastic day.